Hey guys, what's up? It's Ed O'Keefe. Welcome to session 2 of Ethical Propaganda, the Personal Injury Playbook, and how to turn you into a mini celebrity in the niches that you absolutely want to dominate. All right, we're on part 2. I'm super excited. Now we're gonna get into meat and potatoes, and let's dive in. Okay, so in the last one, we talked about more kind of groundwork and building into this. In this one, we're gonna go into tactics and strategies. Okay, you with me? Okay, so this is a friend of mine, Michael Sorich, and we were speaking on the phone, and I said, let me take a look at your stuff and just show you where my head's at with some things that we can do. And so the first thing you want to look at is what existing assets do I have? Okay, and when I say existing assets, I'm talking like what cases have you won, what settlements do you have? Do you have any video testimonials? Do you have any videos that are kind of on your YouTubes, in your Facebooks, that are just sitting there? And I'll show you some examples later of just people that they have great videos that are just sitting there collecting dust. And so one of the first things I always like to do is look at can we just dust this off, put like a upgraded thumbnail, which by the, what's a thumbnail? I'm going to show you examples of thumbnails in a second. If it happened 5 years ago and the value can still be done today and it creates value today, then why wouldn't you utilize that asset? So we like looking at dormant assets first, okay? Dormant assets, meaning these are things that you can use and turn into money by getting them out, syndicating, and the only person knows that, yeah, that happened 5 years ago, but it's still relevant today. So you just got to repurpose it. Okay. Now, a guy by the name of Daniel Priestley, he wrote the book, I think it's like 21 ways to become an overnight authority. And one of his quotes he talks about is assets before income. Okay. Assets before income. We all know that. Like if you buy a rental property, you're buying an asset, income comes after that. But you never are really taught content or your education, your intellectual property is a form of asset that you're putting into the marketplace that when people consume it, they then get to come to your business and hire you, right? Or if I was gonna use a different example, like they buy from you, right? Those are assets. And so we want to create assets that lead our best clients, prospects to us, okay? And I'm not going to go far into depth on this because I think I'm going to wait actually to part 3 on this. This is a little more mindset stuff about not having clarity of who you're helping. So we're going to go through that, but this is one of the things we do with our clients. I'm going to go over that. If you guys can forgive me, because I know I spent forever on the first session going over mindset stuff. But I will tell you this, when I go backwards, I'm like, no, I got to cover it, is that most people get off track because they do not have a very, very specific focus on getting the result, okay? And I'm going to cover this after I go into this case study. So I do this case study, and then I'll wrap up with that today, like when I'm all done. Okay, so step 1, leveraging existing assets, okay? So these guys had a $50 million railroad injury settlement. You could take that, turn that into a video. You can answer 3 questions on it. So I see that one of the things that you guys had was a $50 million railroad injury settlement. Do you mind sharing me a little bit about what happened? And then that is just the frame, okay? And then what uncertainty, doubts would somebody who was in a similar thing have? Those are the follow-up questions. Do you see how we do that? This gal here, Jean Maroney, she's a client. When I go to the YouTube, it only had like 22 views, okay? We can take that video, and I'll show you a little bit more in depth in a minute. I can take that video, put a $3 a day budget behind it, and have it go in the radius in our area, or only target people who've engaged with our Facebook page, Instagram page, our website, So these are people that have engaged with us, okay? And all of a sudden, guess what? Her video from 5 years ago is getting watched every single day by people that are possibly ideal prospects, okay? And for our professionals who refer to us, now it's in their ecosystem. Now we're top of mind. You see how that starts working, guys? Okay, so step one, first thing that we would do is you got to ask yourself is who is the level 10 client that if you had a consistent flow of these, you'd have the dream business. Now, when I go to level 10 client, you'll probably notice I've already given you my level 10 client, right? They spend 10 to 500,000 a month. They are slight edgers. They're fast action takers. They're givers. They're optimistic. They're good people. They take action. They look at investment in a certain way. But do you notice, like, I'm actually doing what I'm teaching you to do? I'm laying out, this is who are perfect for us as clients. So people that fall into that bucket self-select, like, oh, Ed's the right person for me. While other people might be like, I can't stand this guy, or I'm not the right person for him. Well, I want that person to self-select out the same way I want the person to self-select in, like a different person, okay? So one question, and I'll send you this sheet is, but you can do this on a piece of paper. I'm just gonna fly through this real quick. So think of an ideal client that you've had in the past. Where did you find them? Like, what was the lead source? Was it a referral? Was it through a specific media company? Was it organic? If it's organic, it's always, and you're spending money, it's usually they're coming to you from a paid media source of some sort, or they overflowed. And this is what I'll talk about here in a minute. Revenue of that client. So what is your average case that would get you super excited? Now, there's a lot of guys that are just like they just want to settle out of the gate, so they know, hey, this is our bread and butter. You want to write that in there. If you want to do truck wrecks and your average truck wreck is this dollar amount, write that in there. What is your target dollar amount per case? Because what starts flowing next, guys, is both emotional and mathematical. The emotional is how we actually communicate to them. The mathematical is how we scale using pay. I'm not going deep into that today because I have a different bonus product that I'm only going to talk about math and money, okay? This is not that training, okay? But you still can just write that out really quickly. And like, what's our promise to them? Whatever that might be, okay? And then the rest of that, you don't really need to go into right this second, okay? But here's what I want to share with you is that the questions and a lot of the stuff that starts happening, like, so it doesn't take me more than a couple seconds or minutes to find all of the questions that people are asking about, like, best truck accident lawyer, how to choose the best one, right? That's a topic right there. And so how I would do that if I'm doing a solo video, always like, what kind of lawyer do I need to sue a trucking company? How long does it take to settle a semi-truck accident? Now, what are the odds of winning a car accident lawsuit? How much of these are truck accident settlements? Okay, those are all good ones, right? But then there's also questions that you might be like, hey, they should be asking this. So now we create videos like 5 questions you should ask yourself if you were in a truck accident or if you were a victim of blah, blah, blah. And why you see this all the time. Why calling an attorney is not the first thing you're supposed to do. But then it gives them the steps. And then it says, hey, call us when you do those steps, right? So if you're this type of person. So these things are already there. Now, the other little trick you can use is, guess what? YouTube. Why? Because YouTube is going to serve videos of what people are consuming, okay? Check this out, guys. 2 years ago, can I sue the truck drivers trucking company for my injuries? See that? This is a very average thumbnail. These are thumbnails, by the way. They got 37,000 views. Dumb question. In the last 2 years, if you are hoping to get truck accident claims, and they are as well, but they got 37,000 views on a video, which I'm not promising that's what's going to happen. However, let me just tell you this. It is so easy for us to look at that video, that outline, and reiterate and redo it, right? And you could create 5 different styles. You can have someone else in your firm do it. You can get interviewed on it. Like, these are all the different ways to create the content. Because what do we want to do? We want people to consume at least 3 to 7 hours. 7 hours is the magic number of our material. Okay, 7 hours. That's a lot of material. Doesn't it feel that way? So we need to find ways to create more of it, and so we'll go into that in a second. But these are all questions. Like this question, I guarantee you. Can I sue the truck drivers trucking company for my injuries? And then I put in here something like this: Illinois, or Chicago attorney. Insert your name, your thing, your firm, and then you go and you do the rest. You like put in the rest of the description, or even in your video, you bring up like, "Hi, I'm O'Keefe from the South Side of Chicago. We're right out of here in downtown Chicago, and we help people that have been in truck accidents or involved with a truck accident in the greater Chicagoland area. And so if you've had any of these, if you're watching this right now, it usually tells us that this is probably something that's happened to you." And you go through the list of what's happened, and all of a sudden now the SEO, the AI, the algorithms, they're picking up your location, where you're from, the name of your firm, all those things. Plus we're calling them out. It's a little bit more psychology, and I'll teach you more about that in a second. But these are all indicators that any of these things these are all people getting this market has a lot of people asking questions. Let's just put it that way, right? And then okay, so this was Mike, right? And I said this to Mike. I'm like, Mike, right here, Mike, they have all these beautiful branded clips, right? And a lot of you guys have done the same thing. You've gone out, you went to, say it's Crisp, who I have nothing negative to say. They do great stuff, right? Expensive stuff, very, very high end. And you go to these other places and you get these amazing videos. But the videos are broad. You know, walking in and out of your firm or in the court, you look good, looks great. And yeah, I like you when I consume that. But it's still asking myself the question, are they the right firms for me? And SEO, most websites are designed with long articles for SEO purposes. But when I click on most websites, and then you could do a self audit on this, we're happy to look at it for you as well. And I'm happy to have myself or one of my team members go through it. Actually, no, if you're watching this, I'll do it myself. And give you my, like, if people are going on there and it's just content, but then I go to the next law firm, it's the same freaking content. You know what? I'm sure you're a nice guy, but I don't know if you're the right person to handle my truck case. See what I mean? I'm gonna give you an example here in a second. But these are all, this is one of their cases they did. This was great. But do you see how I took Mike's simple thing here? So Mike told me, hey, look, we want to do trucking, construction, MBA. And look at, boom. I immediately just took a clip of a video, added a YouTube button, and then put truck accident injury, 5 questions to ask an injury attorney before you hire them, right? And now we could take some of Mike's other stuff, or we can do a quick little interview. We could do a asset build day. And all of a sudden, Mike is now, even though they handle every imaginable PI case for the firm, well, guess what? We're going to start building out his own little assets of trucking accidents and what people need to know. So guess what? Now, this is where it goes to another leverage, folks, is that when people call, leads call, or leads ask questions, or leads do whatever, guess what we do? We send them videos. They don't have to wait 24 hours, 36 hours, 48 hours to get answers. We send them videos. We send them to our YouTube channel. And guess what happens? They start consuming our stuff. So when they get on a call with an attorney or one of the team members who's scheduling with the attorney, we make sure that this person has totally gone through the content, they're qualified. This is a great case. This is the kind we want. And they're ready to move forward. If you're working with a third-party intake team, they could be utilizing these as well. It's only going to make them all better, right? And then this would be something we'd start banging out for construction, MBA, and we would do the same exact thing, okay? Okay, now this is where things get a little bit crazy and fun, right? So I was like, let's do a little research, right? So it took me literally less than 5 seconds to find out what's the average cost per click for trucks accident lawyers. $800 per click. That is absolutely absurd, right? Now, you'd imagine this would be the next one, right? Truck accident lawyers near me. That's probably the most searched, by the way, which is why you need to be listed with your local search ads, your map pack, your Google My Business. It has to all be optimized. Why you got to have reviews, all that fun jazz, blah, blah, blah. But here's the deal. $962, right? So check this out, right? I said, when I click on truck accident lawyer near me, okay, do me a favor. I'm going to, well, it doesn't matter. Meta, Instagram, and Facebook immediately are picking up on that signal, okay? So if I take my phone, boom, and I click on a $900 click ad, other platforms like TikTok, Meta, X are being sent the signal saying, hey, this person at this IP is interested in truck accident lawyer. Let's serve him ads from people who are interested in truck or that are other law firms. So this stuff's going to blow you away here in a second. I want you to combine that realization, that statistic, with this statistic. 70% plus of the people that click on the ad who visit that website bounce and continue their search. They might get interrupted, a phone call might come in, a kid might call them, who knows what might happen. But guess what, folks? Guess what? That means if they got 100 clicks, that's $100,000 in ad spend, and 70% are going to go visit other websites and search around the YouTube. YouTube is free. So if I had a video up on YouTube on the south side of Chicago that said how to find a truck accident attorney near me, and then I gave my location, a person who just clicked on that ad has a high likelihood of falling into my free video on YouTube. Crazy, right? And then number 3 is the 7, 11, and 4 requirements open up a massive opportunity for you. Now, I'm going to cover this again later, so let me just cover this real quick. 7 hours is the 7. The 11 means touch points, 11 touch points across 4 different mediums. What are mediums? Billboard, Facebook, YouTube, email, text. Those are all mediums, right? So if I see you on Google, and then I see you again on Facebook, and then I see you again on YouTube, and then I'm driving down the road and I see you again, which I don't know if that's actually is accurate. I believe that you have a higher level of authority because of this. By the way, this is not me making this up. This is Google's, after studying billions and billions and billions of companies, that's what they came up with, okay? And the reason this is that most firms have very, very poor message to market match. And what I mean by that is that if I click on something that says truck accident attorney, most firms, this is going to be the exception. These guys are incredible. Most firms will take you to a page that has like bike accidents, roller skating accidents, train accidents, and also truck accidents. That is a poor message to market match. If I'm in a truck accident and I type in truck accident lawyer near me and I click on that thing, I am looking for a page that's only about truck accidents. Okay. So let's go through these guys. These guys are world class. I wanted to give you a bunch of crappy examples first and then show you the opposite. But I stumbled across these guys in my research and I was so impressed with them that I was like, dude, I'm going to share this first. Now, do me a favor. Don't click on their ad. It costs them like $900. I have a tool that I can see how much people are spending. I can go behind things. I can see what pages people are landing on. So I didn't click on their ad to cost them money. Any examples you see, I don't do that. I think it's just not cool. On Facebook, I will, because Facebook, sorry, it's just speed. It's easier. And it is what it is. It's not like I'm clicking there 45 times. But okay, so truck accident attorneys, the top spot came up. That means these guys are spending the most amount of money. Okay. Then I just want to show you guys this. So this is just what I see when I come in here, right? You got 709, 144 reviews, 709. This is really close to my house. There, I'm gonna step in on there. Boom. Okay, so these guys came up. Now, here's the thing. In my next training, I'm going to go through his video a little bit. It's very, very good. Like very, very good. Extremely well scripted. I already transcribed it, already changed it over, already templatized it. Because you can't really rip off like what they say because he does a great job at telling stories. But oh, hold on. Let me see. I might have a link right here. Let me pause this. All right, cool. So in this, I don't think my computer is going to pick up his sound. I'll have to test this when I'm off. But like, I'm going to get you guys the link. These guys are sharp, super sharp. Nothing but mad respect for them. Okay, but when you work with us, I'll just tell you this. Like, if you want to work with it, I'm going to give you the templates. You're going to get my scripting and my outlines here in a second. Actually, let me give this to you. Hold on, pause. Let me grab it right now. Okay, cool. So you're going to be getting this, right? So if you're watching this, it means likely you or a loved one has been seriously hurt in a truck accident. That's what he said. It's very, very good framing, right? And I want you to know, I'm truly sorry you're going through this. No one is ever prepared for something like this, but you're here now. And I want to help. Now, there's something most people don't realize is that the trucking company is already working against you. Before you even get home from the hospital, they've hired the lawyers, they sent the investigators. They've activated their rapid response team to protect themselves, not you. Okay, and this isn't personal; it's systematic. It's very good languaging. It's what they do in every wreck. Then they segue to another attorney, and he says people usually find me when something tragic has happened in their life. And I always tell them this: what happens in the first few days will shape your entire case. That was what I talked about, like the framing of the speed guys. If people are delaying things and you want them to get moving, well, first of all, it's true, right? So this is a great point. And then he goes through the story, right? A woman came to us after her husband's Harley burned a truck explosion. She said, I want to wait until he's out of the hospital. She was overwhelmed, scared, and trying to take care of her family. If I'm talking about her, now this is something in human psychology. If I'm talking about her and I say she was overwhelmed, scared, want to take care of her family, most likely the person watching that is feeling the same exact way. Does that make sense? And so this languaging is absolutely beautiful. And and this is what we did. And then he goes through it. We preserved the scene immediately. We secured the truck's black box data. We discovered the truck driver's texting. We brought in our experts and we handled everything. And then, so I'm not going to read the whole thing like this, but he does go through like the law firm premium effect, right? It's usually the same trucking companies, the same insurance companies, and the same defense firms every single time. When they sit down and they say, hey, should we settle? Should we fight? Or how much should we offer? One of the first questions they're going to ask is, who's representing the victim? And when they see our name, they know they're dealing with a firm that doesn't back down, is not afraid that they know if they don't settle fairly, they'll be facing us in front of a jury where we thrive. And that's why we've secured record-setting victories for our clients. Damn, I'm just telling you right now, if you can model that, don't copy it word for word, or we can work together on whatever that is for you. That is very good. Very, very good. This is really good stuff. So inside inside this, you're going to get the scripting. You're also going to get the director shot. Like, so if you're going to share this with any of your camera people, you guys can take it. I also included, yes, I did use ChatGPT, but I train my ChatGPT guys. I have certain GPTs. I was thinking about giving them out as like lead magnets for people. I don't know. You tell me, right? You tell me if I should or not. But I train it on the psychology and all the different emotional triggers we're trying to create. And so when we craft these 60-second ads and these 3-minute YouTube versions, what we'll do is we take story, we pump it back in, and then we ask it to start doing that. So it's pretty powerful stuff, pretty awesome stuff. AI is crazy. AI is crazy. Hopefully we can do something really fun together. And then this would be, if you want to create a whole PDF, this is in a different folder, right? So raise your hand. Do you like that right there? That's pretty good stuff. So you're going to get that. I mean, this is easily worth everything you just paid for this. I mean, this one phrase is just out of control. This is so good. Should we settle? Should we fight? How much should we offer? One of the first questions they're going to ask, who's representing the victim? And when they see it's our name, they know they're dealing with a firm that doesn't back down, that they know if they don't settle fairly, they'll be facing us in the front of a jury where we thrive. It's so good. And that's why we've secured record-setting victories for our clients. Badass. Good job, fellas. Well done. Okay, so that's that. Let me come back to here. Let's see what else. I have all the reels here and stuff like that. I just don't know if I'm going to get there for you yet. All right. So what I want to show is last couple points here. We'll go into content in my next session. This one here is pretty damn good. Okay, so they got this. This is them spending the money to their site. Okay, very, very, very good. Okay. They are not retargeting at all. Do you guys know what retargeting is? So retargeting is that when I go to their Facebook page, these are all videos from them right here, stories. They could easily be spending $1, $2, $3 a day across 20 pieces of content that, like $1 a day across 20 pieces of content that would syndicate these videos by I think this is Itkin right here, so that when people are visiting that website, I get immediately hit up with their ads. Okay. I'll get to that in a second. This is what I wanted to show you. I clicked on their ad. No, I didn't click on their ad. I visited their website, and I came here, but I was clicking on their Facebook page, and immediately on my can you guys see that? Let me just shrink myself real quick. On my phone, this is hurt in an accident. Postman always delivers. That's this guy right here. I mean, I see this guy everywhere, right? He's doing great stuff. But the moment I started visiting their site and looking at their stuff, his stuff popped up. I was in market, okay? And so what I'm going to challenge you to do is think that if all you did was get the content, like this content, we could target, and then this is the pieces. We're going to need 21 micro reels. You're going to need 10 3-minute videos. Now here's what's super positive. The 3-minute videos can all come from your interview. Okay. I highly recommend we take your interview or your reels. Here's a hint. You could create reels out of your interview. So you can create your 3-minute clips and you create your 11 to 21 micro reels out of your interview. I do like having a couple separate topics that are just reels, you know, and turning them into a little 20-page survival guide. This looks really good, doesn't it? That if it sat up on Amazon and on their website and on their, it would go up on Pinterest, it would go up on images in Google, it would be part of their, hey, grab our book in our description. They would be featured as authors, which only increases and accelerates their celebrityship. Okay. So that is just the beginning of this. Now, I'm not even close to being done on this, right? And if you're feeling overwhelmed yet, remember, we can help you do all of this stuff. This was another video. Like I went to Kavanaugh and Sorge. I just went back and I was like, this came out in 2016. Doesn't that look relevant? Best trial lawyers for the toughest cases, best lawyers in the news, lawyer of the year. Then I went back here. I don't even know when this was. Was that 2002? Tape leads to $55 million Trainwreck Award. 24 years later, and we're still relevant on it. Pretty amazing, guys. Okay, it's amazing what we could do. 10 reasons why people hire Kavanaugh and Sorge. And then you could easily do, we could do an AI content video for that. We could do an interview on that where you're like, here's like 10 reasons why people choose our firm over other firms. Now, like if going to trial, if not being afraid to go to trial, and you're not just going to settle for the first thing, maybe that's number one, right? And you go through the 10. And we have a list of 10 that we can share with you as well. Okay. And then here's another one. Boom. Okay. So it's my last part. And then we're going to go into the next session where I'm going to break down actually the content titles for your reels. And then what should be asked during your interview. Yeah, man, how to get this machine rocking and rolling. And then like paid media, how that actually worked for this. But if you do not have a propaganda flywheel, you're losing opportunity. If you're spending money on ads, SEO, LSAs, you're losing money immediately, right now, every day. And I'm going to show, I want to show this. This is my one thing I was just kind of hesitant to show this. This is from one of my dental clients. And the reason I didn't want to show this, guys, is because this guy does $50,000 cases, $65,000 cases. That is really hard to sell in dentistry. What I want to show you though is we did our best performing ad is this piece right here. How expensive are dental implants? How expensive are dental implants? That's our best ad. It's 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes long. And I want to show you this. Look at how many people, 59, 31, watched a 3 to 5 minute full video about how expensive dental implants are in his town. And then I want you to look at how much it costs him to get 90 something. It costs him less than $1 per view, full view, right? People don't watch 5 minute videos about how his practice helps people with dental implants for the heck of it. They're interested in dental implants, right? And then what I want to show you here is we got 3,326 of them people to watch 25% or more. Now, people don't watch. Oh, here, you guys can't see that as well. Sorry. People don't watch 2.5 minute videos about dental implants unless they're interested. Does that make sense? And what did this all cost us? 721 people watched the full videos. $242. Now, legal is a little more expensive. I'm just letting you know that. It's just a little more expensive. But if people click on your website and they click on your Facebook page and they search your name in Google and they go to your local search apps and they click on it, and you don't have at least 20 micro videos that you're spending $1 a day on, let me ask a question. Let me ask a different question. Do you think it'd be worth it to have 20 little micro 1 to 7 minute videos that can educate people that are already demonstrating they're interested in working with you? Okay. So it's a total no-brainer, right? Okay, it's Leaky Bucket. And then let me just get you in the next one. Okay, cool. It's a leaky bucket. And if you do this, I'm just letting you know, like if you do this, you are going to be this person right here. You're going to be out here in the blue ocean, right? So in the next session, we're going to go over 7, 11, and 4. 7 hours, 11 touch points, and 4. How to get it done. Okay, how to get it done. What content should be done. Are you enjoying this, by the way? I'm not sensationalizing like oh, like we don't have to do crazy stuff. We just got to do stuff that helps our clients, right? And if we do that, we win because they win, we win, everybody wins. And you can get most of this done very, very rapidly, and for very low budgets to be up and running. And then remember, if you need help, you could message me or head over to piwingman.com and schedule a call with me, and then I'll do a free audit and look at all your assets and how I would recommend deploying that. Okay, next session, we're going to go over what to say, the blueprint of reels I already got done for you, and then what are actually the mechanics of creating the video, uploading the video, and then if you're going to use paid media, which I recommend because they're micro budgets for the propaganda, how to get that live very, very quickly. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the other side. Peace out.